Here we have a quote from Herbert Otto, a celebrated behavioral scientist and a German psychologist. He says, "We are all functioning at a small fraction of our capacity to live fully in its total meaning of loving, sharing, creating, and adventuring. Consequently, actualizing our potential can become the most exciting adventure of our lifetimes." That means here it reads, we are all functioning at a small fraction of our capacity. Well, behavioral scientists have made a study and they also quantified the small fraction of our capacity. It is said when an average person goes to the grave or crematorium, uses only 5 to 7% of the potential. That means remaining 93 to 95% of the potential goes dormant, wasted in the graves or crematorium. So, therefore, this is a colossal waste of human potential. So, being born a human being with so much of potential, it is important that we maximize our potential. And Herbert Otto also says, consequently, actualizing our potential can become the most exciting adventure of our lifetime. Well, we all want some excitement in life. And that is why we do a lot of things. You attend seminars, you read books, you travel, you probably go to the bar, you go to religious places because you all want excitement. But Mr. Otto says actualizing our potential can become the most exciting adventure of a lifetime. The reason is that people go to the top of the mountain, people dive deep into the ocean, people travel the length and breadth of the land because they look out for excitement. But the real excitement is actualizing our potential. So, therefore, we've got enormous potential. And if you can only tap into our potential, that will be the greatest excitement of a lifetime, a greatest adventure of a lifetime. Well, we all need energy in order to maximize our potential. Now, what is that energy that we human beings possess? That energy is our thoughts are energy. Now, everything is energy. It first manifests in our thoughts, it gets amplified by our emotions, and it gains momentum through our action. It is also said anything and everything that is created twice, one in the mind as a thought, and then it gets into action, amplified by emotion, and then our momentum is increased by action, and that thought becomes a thing. So, everything that you see is nothing but crystallization of our thoughts. When water crystallizes, it becomes ice. When thoughts crystallizes, it becomes things. So therefore, it's all about using our thought energy because thoughts are energy. Well, let's understand the science of energy. Science of energy says energy is powerful when it is concentrated. Energy not powerful when it is diluted. So, importantly, we need to ensure that we concentrate the energy for it to gain power. So, that energy has got the power to create or destroy. Let me give you some examples. Let's say we have the sunlight. Now, sunlight is sun's energy. Now, the sunlight that we experience is for our good, it's diluted because we need the sunlight, we dry our clothes, we go out and come in, and that sunlight is diluted. But if you take a magnifying glass, allow the rays of the sunlight to pass through the magnifying glass and put some objects under the rays that comes through the magnifying glass. Now what happens to that object? It burns. Because earlier the sunlight was diluted and right now the sunlight is concentrated. Similarly, here I'm standing and I've got some light. Now this light is also energy. But this is diluted right now because I'm using it and you're seeing me and now you're also using it. This light is diluted. But if I can straighten these light rays and steer them towards an object, it becomes laser. Now, laser has got the power to cut through steel. Laser is being used in today's surgery. So, the same light, when it is concentrated, it becomes laser. Now, we have the breeze. We enjoy the breeze. We need it. And now, the same breeze is also used in the windmill to create energy, the turbines. And then, the same breeze, when it gets concentrated, becomes a cyclone and can devastate things and beings. So here the breeze, when it is concentrated, it's so very powerful. So what I'm trying to drive home is when our energy is concentrated, it's got power. When it is not concentrated, it's powerless. Similarly, we have our thoughts as energy. Now the same logic applies to our thought energy. If we can concentrate our thought energy, it is extremely powerful to create or to destroy. But the same thought energy, when it is diluted, it's of no use at all. You see some players, international and national, they are all examples of concentrated thought energy. And there are also people, spectators watching them. They are all examples of not concentrated thought energy. So, therefore, a leader is that person who's got a goal and concentrates the thought energy towards that particular endeavor and thereby achieves it. So, therefore, energy, the thought energy that we have, needs to be concentrated. The question that we need to ask ourselves is that why am I not able to concentrate and what is concentration? So, I'm going to share with you the science of why are we not able to concentrate and what is concentration. Well, we are all born with an incorruptible factor called the conscience. And every time when you perform an action in line with your conscience, you are absolutely fine. But as we grow up, depending on the environment we are in, we are influenced by many factors, good factors and bad factors. When you are influenced by bad factors, you develop an aspect in you which is called as cunning intelligence, where you want to get a lot of things in a cunning manner, in a shortcut manner. You want to bypass some processes and you, with the greed, you try to get them. So therefore, all these are resultant effect of cunning intelligence. So every time when you perform an action motivated by your cunning intelligence, you are introducing restlessness. Because when you perform an action motivated by your cunning intelligence, your conscience, the incorruptible factor that is there, is fighting it. It is saying, don't do it. But your cunning intelligence is muscling it. And therefore, the fight between your cunning intelligence and conscience is the disturbance caused because of the skirmishes. So therefore, disturbance within us is because we live according to our cunning intelligence, and therefore there is restlessness. But if you can listen to your conscience, there's no problem at all. So therefore, I want to read to you a beautiful poem. It's titled The Guy in the Glass. When you get what you want in the struggle for self, and the world makes you a king for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that guy has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or wife whose judgment on you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the guy staring back from the glass. He's the person to please, never mind all the rest. For he's with you clean to the end, and you have passed your most dangerous and difficult test if the guy in the glass is your friend. You may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the guy in the glass says you're a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of yours and get pats on the back as you pass, but the final reward will be heartache and tears if you're cheated, the guy in the glass. Well, we all see the mirror. Now the mirror is revealing our face, but if you look carefully, you are also seeing what really happens within you, because our face is the index of the heart. So anytime when you do things according to your conscience, you feel restfulness, and that is going to be revealed in every action of yours, and it is also going to be expressed in your countenance. So it's very important. Every time when you look at yourself in the mirror, just look straight and you'll find how your life is. Are you governed by a cunning intelligence or conscience? And if you're governed by conscience, that means you're going to be a very, very restful person. So therefore, in order to stop the restlessness is to listen to the voice of your conscience. And every time when you listen to the voice of the conscience, you are a very restful person. And now you can utilize your thought energy effectively. The next component is, what is concentration? Now, concentration is your ability to steer your whole mind towards one thought, disregarding the rest of the many thoughts. In short, concentration is one thought minus many thought. For instance, you are in an activity and you're thinking about too many things. You will not be able to do that work that you're set out to do effectively. Right now, I'm recording this video. And now, if I'm only concentrated on this one activity, which is a thought, I'm going to be powerful. But if so many thoughts are bombarding me right now, I wouldn't be able to do this recording properly. So, whatever work you're doing, you just get focused on that one thought, disregarding the rest of the many thoughts. Let it be for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour. Just get into that activity. And by, when you keep doing work like that, concentration becomes a part of your life and you'll be able to excel because you're working smart and not really hard. So therefore, concentration is your ability to steer your whole mind towards one thought, disregarding the rest of the many thoughts. And if you can do that, that is what is success. You see a lot of people successful, celebrities, history makers, they are all nothing but examples of concentrated thought energy. So if you want to be a history maker, if you want to be a leader, if you want to be a contributor, concentrate your thought energy, and that is the way to become successful. But let me also tell you, lots of people are successful because they concentrated. But it's also sad to know many people are very successful were also became miserable because they didn't know how to handle their success. So therefore, knowing how to handle your success is very important. I told you, concentration is one thought minus many thought. Success is a result of you being in that one endeavor. Now let's say by and by even that one thought drops. Now what is there? Nothing is there, no thoughts. Now this is a very powerful state of our being wherein you concentrated one thought, then over a period of time you have the ability to drop that one thought also. Now there's no thoughts. So therefore this is called as no thing or nothing. And this state is a very, very exalted state where you have no thoughts but you're awake. And this state is called as Samadhi. Now Samadhi is a state of your being wherein you can experience time without experiencing any thought, without falling asleep. So therefore, Samadhi is awareness, where you're aware, you have no thoughts and you don't fall asleep. And if you can get into that stage, an exalted state of human life, and that is real power. So you're getting into a Samadhi state of inclusiveness, of nothingness. When we say nothingness, it's inclusiveness. And that is really a very, very powerful state. And it's should be our endeavor to ensure that we can get into that state as many times as possible during our wake time, wherein when we've got nothing to do, we experience Samadhi, where you're aware, no thoughts, no sleep. And then from this state of restfulness, when you come into the world of activities, you're an extremely powerful person. Every word that you speak has got the power. Your very thought has got the power. Your wish will become a reality. So therefore, you have seen a lot of people, they just wish their presence is good enough, their few words are good enough, because all those comes from the depth of their stillness and silence. So therefore, if you want to experience success, concentrate. And if you want to experience that powerfulness, drop that one thought also, experience that stillness. And from that stillness, when you express something, you're going to be extremely powerful, where your wish becomes a command to your universe. So therefore, let's aspire not to stop with concentration and success. Let's go beyond it and experience that stillness, that silence, and will be very, very powerful.